If your Freecash account is frozen, paused, or banned, I know that can feel very stressful, especially if you had money pending there or are using it to earn regularly. So in this video, I'll walk you through what you can realistically do to fix it, what usually does not work, and how to tell early on whether your account is actually recoverable or not. And make sure you watch until the end, because I'll also share what I personally recommend you do if your Freecash account cannot be restored, so you can keep earning with free methods no matter what. In case you don't know, my name is Mikael and I have tested hundreds of ways to earn online, and I have used and earned from Freecash for years, and I've talked about it a lot here on my channel, and I have also showed how I've used it, and I've also showed payment proof many times. But I am regularly asked about what you can do if your Freecash account has been frozen, paused, or even banned. And in this video I'll explain why this might happen, the most common reason accounts get flagged, and exactly how the appeal process works, including what Freecash support actually looks at and what expectations you should have. And I'll be very honest with you right away, in some cases accounts they can be recovered, but in other cases they won't be, and I'll show you how to recognize the difference so you don't waste weeks waiting with false hope. And if Freecash is no longer an option for you, I'll also explain how I suggest moving forward so you can still earn online using legit free methods without risking more bans on other platforms also. So let's go through it all step by step. So if you one day log into Freecash and your account has been frozen or paused, then you can click here the notifications, and that's where you can see more about it. And a very important thing to also understand is that if you are banned, completely banned, then they do not allow you to appeal, and then you're not even able to log in. So if you are able to log in and there's certain things you can't do, you can't withdraw and all this, then it's not because you're banned, then your account has just been paused. And the paused is a warning. And if you can log in, then you have not been banned, and there are good chances you can actually get your account back. And if not, then as mentioned, I will talk about later what I recommend you do to keep moving forward. And if your account has just been frozen or payouts have been paused, then it's important to first understand why. As mentioned, you can look into the notifications, but I'll explain a little bit more, because before you just appeal, that's important to understand to increase the chances that your appeal will actually get accepted. Because if you just appeal and you keep making the same mistakes, then you will just eventually get banned, and then you cannot get your account back. And Freecash also does have an article where they describe more about the main or most common reasons an account has been paused or cash outs have been paused. And one of the big reasons is if you have used a VPN, and VPN is what people often use to fake their country so they can get access, for example, to higher paying service or higher paying offers that are not available in their country. This is fraud, because Freecash or any other get paid to site or service site, they will lose money if this happens. So you're basically stealing from them. So therefore they have strict security. So if you're using VPN, they see it as a fraud, and then you should definitely stop doing that. If not, you will definitely get banned. In many cases, actually, you will get banned right away if you use a VPN on a get paid to site or service side. So in some cases you might not be aware of it if you're using a connection that has VPN without you being aware or something like that. But if you're aware, or if you're not even, then look into this, because if you keep using a VPN, you will definitely get banned. Another reason is that they might suspect that you own several accounts. And of course, that's not allowed, because the reason we can get paid, for example, for service is that it's market research. A company needs the opinions of different people. They don't need your opinion 3 times on 3 different accounts, as an example. The same with the gaming offers. We can get paid to install these games and play them because the game developer wants to pay to get new users. They don't want to pay you 3 times to install the same game 3 times, because they don't get anything out of that. So that's why it's not allowed to have multiple accounts. You always have to think about this, that with any free online earning platforms, it's a win-win. They need to get something out of it, and then we can get something out of it. It's not a charity, so it's not that they just allow you to create several accounts and just do the same offers and service over again and use VPN and fake your country and things like that. They would go out of business, and of course they have to make sure they don't do that. They also need to make money. If they didn't do that, they wouldn't be able to pay us, and we wouldn't be able to earn. So just keep that in mind. There might also be other terms of service breaches, but usually you would then see this in a notification, what that might be. But the 2 other here are the most common reasons there. But once you enter understand this, you can then look into it and say like, okay, is this something I can stop doing? Because if not, then just, you will just get banned. So either stop doing it or stop trying to use the platform, because it will just be a waste of time. But once you understand this and are sure that you do not actually do any of the things here, then you can move on to the appeal process. And you would need to click here to message support, and then you can see a notification there, and usually there they do also explain why, and then you can message them and agree to everything there, and then you just have to wait, and they will look into it, and then if they agree that there's no reason for this breach here, or pause, sometimes errors can happen and things like that, then you will usually be able to cash out again and use the platform again within 48 hours. And you'll just be told with a notification inside your Freecash account. So this is what you can expect if your account has been paused. But what if you have then been completely banned or your appeal gets rejected? If your account has been completely banned, or if your appeal gets rejected and then you get banned, then unfortunately there is nothing you can do to get your account back. I know that can be frustrating, but that is just how it is, and that's not just on Freecash, that's on basically all free earning platforms. And trying to create a new account, that will just get you banned again, so you'll just waste your time again, because remember, they have systems in place because they need to protect themselves, not to go out of business. So there's no need to do that. And there might even be cases where you know that you did not do anything wrong and you still don't understand what you did. That can happen. I have also tried that on some platforms. What you can do is to try to think very carefully about what I have said here in this video. For example, when it comes to a VPN, there can be some other apps or something like that that has a VPN that you have not been aware of, things like that. Or it can be your internet connection that has something going on with it that you are not aware of. Usually there is a reason when they detect certain behavior. It can also be if you just rush through things, you don't do the service properly, something like that. So think about, have you actually really done it honestly? If you were the company paying you to do those tasks, would you have paid for that? Try to think about it like that to figure out what's going on. But no matter what, if this is the case, then you will not get your Freecash account back. But then there are great alternatives. That's why I say no matter what, you need to think about all these things that I've talked about here, and then you would have to move on with that awareness, and then you can join some of the many great alternatives there are for Freecash. And then you can join those instead, and then just make sure you don't make the same mistakes again. Do things honestly there, and then you can use on those, and then just forget about Freecash in those cases, move on, focus on other sides. I have a video about the best Freecash alternatives. Actually, I will leave a link in the top corner so you can check that out, get some inspiration for what you can do if you can't use Freecash anymore. And I also do have a list about it on my website. I'll also leave a link to that below. And finally, if you actually manage to get your account back on Freecash, then I also do have a video here on my channel with Freecash tricks to make sure you earn the most legitimately, and I'll leave that here on the screen so you can just click that and watch that next. And finally, if this video helped you, I would really appreciate if you could give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.